The MacBook Pro. Is this $1,300 machine worth the price? And will the touch bar be enough to get you to spend an extra $500? These questions answered next on Milton 1T. In this video, we will look first at a review of the MacBook Pro, then we'll look at the people that should purchase the computer and the people that should not. So let's get the most exciting component of the MacBook out of the way, the touch bar. The bar is a thin OLED touchscreen strip that runs alongside your keyboard and replaces the F1 through F12 buttons that people use for functionality, such as the screen and keyboard brightness, as well as the sound. So the touch bar for the new MacBook is unique in one special way, that being the screen will change depending upon what you want to do. So you get the forward and backward buttons while in Safari, as well as the brightness buttons for the screen. I do have to say, the touch bar is helpful, but considering your muscle memory is not used to having so many options where that row of keys used to be, you don't naturally look up to see what's there. Basically, it does take some time to get used to. Also, not all the applications make use of the touch bar, so from your perspective you may find the touch bar to be very useful or not useful at all, depending upon what type of applications you use. With that said, I should say apps made by Apple have some of the most useful touch bar features. Additionally, some of the other interesting features include using the touch bar for your pick of the set of emojis available to you, as well as the Photos app that lets you change between the edited image and the original. As for the other aspects of the MacBook Pro, you have a very familiar exterior design, although the MacBook Pro is thinner at 0.59 inches versus the 0.71 inches of the previous model. Also, for the exterior, you are getting the space gray color option in addition to the standard silver option that has always been available. One change here to the exterior that you will notice compared to the last edition of the MacBook Pro is that there are Thunderbolt USB-C ports that come as a standard feature. The traditional USB ports are not available with this model, so keep that in mind. You will have to purchase additional adapter cables if you are using the older style USB. Also, you will have the option of 2 USB-C ports with the non-touch bar edition of the MacBook Pro, and 4 USB-C ports with the touch bar edition. And unlike the iPhones, you still have the option of the auxiliary port to plug in your headphones. Though be mindful, the auxiliary port on the MacBook Pro will most likely be gone by the next year's version of the device. As for other notable exterior changes, you do have an updated hinge that is stronger than last year's model and lies flush with the computer. The bezels around the display also get the Apple treatment as they are thinned out following the trend of their other devices. As for the keyboard, the keys received a new butterfly mechanism and a Force Touch trackpad that by all means is enormous. As for the display, Apple matched the wider color gamut of the iPhone and the iMac, so you get a screen that many feel is simply amazing. I am personally not wowed by it, but it is a high quality display, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. As for the battery life, Apple claims 10 hours here. I personally have not been getting that. Realistically, you get anywhere between 6 to 9 depending upon use. As for the internals, you have several options here, from the 2.3 GHz Intel Core i5, that turbo boost up to 3.6 GHz for the non-touch bar model, to a 3.5 GHz Intel Core i7, that turbo boost up to 4 GHz for the touch bar edition. As for the storage, you have a 128 and 256 GB SSD option for the non-touch bar MacBook Pro, and a 256 or 512 GB option for the touch bar edition of the MacBook Pro. So the big question here, who are the people that should purchase the MacBook Pro and who are the people that should not? First, the people that should purchase one are those with a computer that is at least 2 to 3 years old, as the last model of the MacBook Pro will still fit the needs of most users. As for the people that should purchase the MacBook Pro with touch bar, purchase that model only if you use the F1 through F12 keys on your MacBook. If you tend not to touch those keys, it may be a waste of your money. Also, keep in mind, many apps are still not integrated into using the touch bar, so you may want to check if you have an app that you use a lot. For the people that should not purchase the computer, if you are planning to buy a MacBook Pro and not travel with it, or you are planning on connecting an external monitor to it and use it as a desktop, you may want to consider an iMac. You get more bang for your buck. You also get a 5K display. Apple has a lot of products. You should be able to find a device that fits your needs in your price range. The MacBook Pro is on sale now, starting at $1,300 for the non-Touch Bar edition and $1,800 for the Touch Bar edition. That's it for now. I'm Milton. Thank you for listening.